A ceasefire that's still being called active even while missiles are flying. That's exactly what's happening right now between the United States and Iran. Warships attacked, drones shot down, explosions in one of the world's most critical oil routes. And yet, both sides claim we're still at peace. So what is this, really? A controlled conflict? A fake ceasefire? Or the beginning of something much bigger? Because behind the headlines, this isn't just about the US and Iran anymore. This is about global power, oil, and a fragile balance that could break at any moment. Let's break it down.
The situation in the Strait of Hormuz is getting dangerously confusing. On one hand, there's a ceasefire. On the other hand, there's active combat. Recently, U.S. warships were reportedly attacked while moving through the region. According to American officials, Iran launched missiles and drones. The U.S. responded immediately, striking Iranian military targets. But here's the twist. Despite all of this, former President Donald Trump described the strikes as just a love tap and insisted the ceasefire is still intact. That's not just unusual, it's strategically important, because both sides are now telling completely different stories. The U.S. claims it successfully destroyed Iranian threats. Iran claims it inflicted serious damage on American vessels. So who's telling the truth? In reality, both narratives serve a purpose. The U.S. wants to show strength without escalating into full war. Iran wants to prove it can resist pressure without appearing weak. And that's what makes this situation so dangerous. It's a controlled confrontation, where both sides are pushing limits without officially crossing the line. But that line is getting thinner by the day. Meanwhile, tensions are spreading across the region. The UAE has reported intercepting missiles and drones again. This isn't an isolated incident anymore. It's a pattern, and it shows that even with a ceasefire, the conflict is still very much alive. Now let's talk about what's really at stake here. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important oil routes in the world. A huge percentage of global oil passes through this narrow waterway. Any disruption here doesn't just affect the Middle East. It affects gas prices in the U.S., global markets, and economies worldwide. And right now, that route is under pressure. Ships are being delayed, military escorts are uncertain, and tensions are making navigation extremely risky. There's also something unprecedented happening. Iran has introduced new rules, essentially requiring ships to get approval before passing through. Think about that. An international waterway, now being controlled like a checkpoint. If enforced, this could completely change how global trade flows through the region. But here's where it gets even more complex. Both the U.S. and Iran are under pressure to end this conflict. For the U.S., rising oil prices and upcoming elections make prolonged conflict risky. For Iran, ongoing military pressure and economic strain are major concerns. So what are they doing? They're waiting each other out. Each side is trying to gain a better deal without making the first major compromise. And that's why we're seeing this strange situation. A ceasefire with gunfire, negotiations with attacks, peace talks with rising tensions. It's not peace, it's a pause filled with pressure.
So, what happens next? That depends on one key question. How long can a ceasefire survive when both sides keep testing its limits? Because history shows us these kinds of fragile standoffs don't last forever. They either lead to a breakthrough or they break completely. And if that happens, this conflict could escalate far beyond the Strait of Hormuz.